All right, we are live. And I'll say that, this is the last day of Black History Month. So we're operating on CPT, which is color people time. So we come in late. That's just how it is. I am. You never heard of that? You never heard of that? Like at church, you go to a black church and the stuff is always great.
There you go.
There's a truth to
Okay.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
All
So,
right. Well, we've already got Wolf Girl, Dolly, and Janet. I welcome you. Thank you for being here. And I want to thank my guest, Gerald. I appreciate your energy because I've just been sort of MIA, even though I
uh-huh.
do lurk and stalk Gerald's page. But um, you are one of my favorite people. And so when I thought, okay, let
Oh,
me do a live and do something on January 29th, work lurking, yes. Sometimes I have to
yes,
do
work.
that at Terry at Holding Space, but it's hard because when she's
Yep.
doing a meditation, the phone's
Oh,
ringing and
yeah.
people are talking to me. It's hard to be in that space. But I appreciate you, Gerald. You in
Oh,
this year that I have done a lot of different things, you are someone who has, in my opinion, been very solid, and I appreciate that.
well, thank you. Thank you. And you have had a busy year. It's been
Yes, so yes,
incredible.
because I changed my shift into where I was working 3 12-hour shifts, and that just sounded like such a good idea. But at 59, whew, a 12-hour shift ain't no joke.
12-hour shift is
And so
does take a lot out of you. Yes.
it really
Yes,
can.
yes,
It
yes.
really can. And hello to Sonia. And so, yeah, so it really
Oh,
can do those things. And also, even though I'm thinking like, yeah, I have more freedom in my schedule, forgetting that my schedule has to fit in with everyone else in the ICU. So oftentimes, but the best thing is it has opened doors for me and I'm here today. And so the schedule has worked for me. And so I'm grateful for that. Grateful to be back doing lives. I did my first one by myself and I thought, why would I not do something on um, Leap Day without Gerald? Why would I not invite him?
well, I'm so glad to be invited. Thank you.
And so here you
Thank
are.
you. Yes, it's great.
I'm glad that you said yes. So, what Gerald and I are doing today, we're doing tarot readings, but we're doing them from a special deck that is the Dreams of Gaia.
Yep.
And so I love this deck. My first introduction to it was I had Reiki. I used to get Reiki, distance Reiki when I did a Reiki in person, then distance Reiki when we moved here to Tennessee, to Memphis. And she would send me these amazing images from this deck. And I was like, what tarot deck is
Mm-hmm.
that? I have never seen that. And yeah, you've never seen it before. And so I was introduced to this deck in 2018. So I don't think I've ever seen anyone reading with it. But it just the images just drew me right in.
Yes.
And so
They are
let me just share. So it's the Dreams of Gaia.
yep.
So like, look
Dreams
at
of
this.
Gaia.
I just Dreams of Gaia by Felon, by Raven Felon, Ravynne, and the last name is Phelan. There you go. There you go.
So, and I have to put this
All
up.
right. So
Everybody know your limits. Purchase responsibly.
yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you very much. And so let me just show you some of these images, and then we'll talk about how it's different from a Rider Waite deck, and then how it's similar. And
Mm-hmm.
so I love these are the images that caught my attention, like this one, the King of Water. Just how gorgeous.
Yes.
And then what I love about this one, all the aces are dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the ace of earth. And then, of course, it's all fancy schmancy with the alchemical sign there. And then
Yes.
here's one, which I think is air, body, mind. So we'll talk about this, but they don't have pages and Knights, but this is a card that would be in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And then like this one, the Scribe. I mean, these images are just so vivid. I love this one, the Queen of Fire.
There you go. Yep.
And then just more queenly energy, the Queen of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Joe. So tell me, what did you think? What do you think about this deck?
This is a new to me deck, because I knew you had a Gaia deck, and I thought it was a different Gaia. I thought it was the Gaian tarot, and I missed that. So I just recently got this, so I just started using it. I'm going to do something that I usually do, and that's I'm going to show people it is definitely oracle size. So it's larger
Mm,
than the traditional RWS, and beautiful backs. And
yes, yes.
this has got a nice rose petally finish, but it's still shuffleable. Um, it's okay. So you asked me what do I think about the deck? It's very intriguing, and I am grateful that it has a nice guidebook
Yes,
because
yes.
yeah, I mean it's what 307 or so pages, and you really need the guidebook to help through to help navigate the deck. So, but it's well written. It's well the guidebook's well written. Wolfgar Oracle was talking about guidebooks on their live this morning, and this is a good guidebook. So, yes,
Yes, I have some decks that are like, this is the Queen of Wands. Yay. It's like, what? Okay, I tell you more. Oh my goodness. Look who is here.
hello, hello.
Purple Elephant, Deb H. So good to see you. And let's all just take a minute. Those of you who are watching it right now, and those of you who will watch this later, let's take a breath in and out and send this beautiful queen healing energy. Stand with me and seeing her healed, whole, and healthy.
Yep.
Just a gracious presence. And I'm just standing with her, knowing that all is well. Just all is well. So when you see that purple elephant, if you see an elephant today or you see purple today, say healing. Yes, yes. Thank you for being here, Queen.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes. Dolly says she's here because she likes the, um, look at all that love coming to Deb H. Very good. Because it tells the
Mhm.
intention of she says she likes the guidebook because it tells the intention. So as a new deck to you, when you first got it, because I know that you open it, what do you think about the sides, about the little gold that goes around? Tell me in your when you look at a deck, I know that you're looking at it in so many ways. So I want you to share that.
Well, the first process that I do is I do like to look through it and to make sure that I got all of the cards that are supposed to be there with the deck. And then
Mm,
I just basically flip through to see if there's any to see the significant artwork, and to make sure that the artwork is consistent throughout. Because sometimes it's not, or sometimes it's a little weird. Um, and yeah, so and then so after I've done that and I've looked at it, I will shuffle it a fair amount just to energize it after its trip. I will also use the opportunity to uh, look at cards initially without looking in the book to see what I get from it, to see if
mm.
there's any
Okay,
hints.
okay.
And then yeah, and then I start with the guidebook, and I actually read from the introduction. I read mostly the introduction so that I can understand what the artist's intention was. So, and there are these are very beautiful images, very beautiful. So, but what about you? How do you do it?
I'm trying to think of something academic to say after that. Well, I always take it out and I do want to look through it and how can I connect with it. And yeah, I will read the introduction because basically the introduction is going to tell you something about it. And then they'll be like, now this is how you lay the cards out. It's like, okay, I already know how to do that. But I want to know the facts about the deck. How many cards? How did you divvy it up? And then what is their perception? Because I have another deck that's also not a part. All decks have some similarity to Rider Waite. They have a major arcana and they're going to have their 4 suits. That's sort of the
Mm-hmm.
the facts, or that this is the foundation that most tarot decks stand on. And so like I have the Akashic Tarot. And so it has a major arcana and 4 suits, but they don't match at all with the Rider Waite. And then even the suits have less cards. And so what I loved about this deck is that the major arcana was like very different in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then even the deck. I'm telling you, I think it's really just the images that drew me in. Like there's a vibrancy and
Yes.
just an invitation to step into the mystery. It's unfamiliar, but it's safe. Come on in, jump on in. And that's the real feeling that I had. I'm going to open the deck and play with it and look for my favorite. So I'm going to look for, I love the 9 of Pentacles. So however
Mm-hmm.
you have it, 9 of Earth, 9 of Coins, I'm going to look at that card because that's one of my favorite cards in the deck. I love the Lady of Leisure. So I want to
Yes.
take a look at that. I'm going to look at your Fool card
Mm-hmm.
and see that. And then for me, you, Chris Butler, and Richie really kind of hooked me. I think this is how my love for the 3 of you grew, is that you had a show. I don't know whose channel it was on, but y'all had a show where you went over the different types of Fool cards, or that beginning 0 card. And it
Mm-hmm.
just really opened up my mind. And so when I look at that Fool card, I'm looking for, what else is there? What are the images? How is it showing me? And so that Fool card and the 9 of Pentacles are really kind of my what is going on. And then of course the 8 of Wands,
Mm-hmm.
because I love that card about energy. So like there's the I think it's the LGBTQ deck. Oh, I can see it in my mind where it was done by different artists. And so what
Okay.
I don't like that when a deck is done by different artists, because to me there needs to be a continuum. So to me, the 8 of Wands, there should not be any people on that image because it's about energy moving and energy flowing. And it's one of the few cards in the tarot deck that does not have people in it. So
Mm-hmm.
when I see that, yeah, when I see, so that there, I think we talked about the intent of like Chris Butler, he's an artist. And so there's an energy in there. So I like that continuum. So for me, if a deck has different people drew it, I'm already kind of turned off.
Yeah. There does have to be consistency, especially in the
I'm going to turn
suit.
the fan on.
Okay. There
There,
does
sorry.
have to be consistency, especially in the suits. In the suits. So if there's I can handle different artists if they do the whole suit, because then it feels like
Correct.
it.
Correct.
So yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that. And then Lily got this deck. I'll have to post a picture of it. The man drew it to where each in the minor arcana, the pictures, when you lay them together, it's telling a story. So all the images come together, and then the 10th card goes back to the beginning because it's a cycle. And it's
Yes.
very non-traditional, but again, one person and the suits make sense together.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, yeah. I like Sonia saying illustration draws you in. So one of the things, so let me give you some facts about this deck, is that this deck has 25 major arcana and the
Mm-hmm.
traditional deck has 22.
Mm-hmm.
And then 56 cards. So that's the same, but the page and the knight are replaced by different entities or entities, depending on the flow of the deck.
Yes.
And then for the major arcana, the Emperor and the Empress. So the Emperor and the Empress have been replaced by these cards, which is the Mother, And of course, the Father being that divine masculine and divine feminine. And then what else? The High Priestess and the Hierophant have been replaced by, and I love this card. Look at this crone, just looking like a straight badass. And I love it that her wand, look at it, the thing is already activated. Like, fuck around and find out. I love it.
Well, yeah. If you're not smart, go ahead and do that. But if you're smart, you're
Exactly.
going to listen to what the crone has to say.
Exactly. And then here's the Hierophant as the sage.
Yeah, the Sage is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I think it's very
Oh my
nice.
my. So
So
hold it because I want to come back to you talking about that. But I wanted to start with, if you don't mind, Gerald, let's talk about the zero card. The what would be the Fool card?
the choice card.
Yes. What did you think about that? Or how do you like it as the opening deck, the opening card of the deck?
I do like it. I think it's a very nice take on it.
Right.
It does give us responsibility for our choices. And so I like the illustration as well, because we see here, we see below, there are doorways, that portals that we can go through, and we have representation of all of the elements. So it is the choice of what are we going to bring this into this reading or into this experience, because that's going to follow us through. What did you think?
Mm, mm. Well, I also think I do like that representation because yes, the Fool is all about your choices. You've got your nap. So in the traditional one, you've got your knapsack on, and you're getting ready to step off a cliff or do something new. And so, how are you going to do it? And yes, the imagery from having the snake here holding the light, and yes, the three doors, and is there sadness or hope? Yeah, my lighting's not good on this. And so, yes, I was very much impressed by, but I want to bring that the card right after it, the one card, is the child. Because I remember you and Chris and Richie talked about the child can often be the first card in the major arcana because it is that still concept of new beginning. You have a chance to make choices. You can choose where you're going to be. You haven't been imprinted on. And so I thought very interesting that this deck has these two. With all the magical people that they have in this deck, I was surprised that the next card wasn't some kind of magical looking person to represent the magician, but they went this way with that concept.
Yes. Well, and one of the things that I may be jumping ahead, my apologies, and it's right on the back of the
No
book.
jumping ahead. Do what you want.
Right on the back of the book. This deck is to help you to seek, to feel, to grow, and to heal. And so all throughout the cards and the book, this is talked about. This is discussed. And I think that's extremely powerful. I think tarot is very, very healing. It's a great oracle. It helps us when we are seeking for more information. It really, really helps me grow. So, like many things, it's one of these things that is so important to. I like that approach, and I like how the author talks about that. And the philosophy of the cards is simple: to seek, to feel, to grow, and to heal. I'm like going that I'm going to be taking with me as I look at other decks. I'm going to be keeping those things in mind as I explore new decks. So, yeah.
Because did you not have that concept before, or did you feel that? What is? how is that? Because I think of you as a very experienced reader. So for you to say in some ways like this, not quite caught you off guard, but just really got you thinking like,
It does. The author does a very nice job of explaining that. I think the explanations are really helpful, and I appreciate that. I like someone who is articulate and can take those very challenging concepts and sometimes and make them make sense, if that helps.
mm, mm, mm,
So
mm, mm.
so yeah. So and she in the guidebook, it's does the author does guide you through like how to get started, following your inner voice, which is so very important, how to ask the question, and then what do you do after you do the reading. I think that's extremely
Mm,
important. And
mm.
the author actually has several um, spreads in here, which are very nice spreads. I had not seen some of these before. Some of them are extremely complex, and others are really straightforward. And I appreciate that. So, but yeah.
Well, good. Well, I want to welcome Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow. She is new to me, but thank you for being here.
Hello. Good to
She
see
says she's
you.
new to tarot and can't believe how accurate it is in the guidance. And yeah, so that's one of the things that I love about the tarot, that the guidance that it gives to me, um, it's a connection to your higher self. And if you
Yes.
ask the right question or ask it in the right way or open your heart to receive the guidance, it will really, I mean, this is like an indispensable tool in my spiritual practice.
Hmm. And it came to you through somebody doing Reiki for you. And
She would do Reiki, and then she would pull some cards, and that's how I saw it. So the very first time I got the email from her, like I wasn't even paying attention to what she was saying, telling me she saw during the Reiki, because I was like, "What is this deck? What are these cards?"
mhm,
They just drew me in, and so for a long time, I wouldn't even read with them publicly because they were just so, I don't know, special to me. For lack of special seems so, it doesn't. There's just something very powerful and very sacred and mystical to me about this deck.
yes. Yes.
And
Well,
so,
yeah, I think it's important to remember tarot is an oracle. It is an oracle with a
yes,
structure. So
yes.
people who use oracle cards, tarot is an oracle, and this is a tarot, heavily tarot influenced oracle. And it does, Minnassa, as you're saying, it does have a lot of energy around it. And I could absolutely see why this person doing Reiki uses this deck, because the chakras are in there, lots of energy,
Oh,
lots of
yes.
energy.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
So,
Indeed. Indeed.
yes, yes,
Yes. So
yes,
we'll say for entertainment purposes only, but I always say for inspirational and educational purposes as well.
yes. That's very true.
Because Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow reminded us of that. All right.
Yes,
So,
because
Tarot, Gerald, what are
that's
some cards that caught your attention? What did you say?
first card that caught my attention was choice.
All right.
Because as I mentioned, I like the inclusion of all of the elements as well as the three doorways.
Mm,
And in the book, she talks about past, present, and future.
super. Yes.
So that's there as well. Um, and I referenced this one earlier. I like the sage,
Okay.
and I also like wisdom, because I think
Now,
that's a
see, I wish that very interesting. So, do you think that that is a correlation to the Hermit card? Because to me, when I saw it, I thought, why doesn't it just say Hermit on it?
I thought of it as a correlation to the Hermit. However, because of the way the deck is set up, because the deck is
Correct.
set up, and let me pull that up so that I can have it. There's stages of life, reason for being, and then influence. So each one has 2, 4,
Right.
6, 8 cards in them. So the stages of life includes the crone and the sage. I love that. And then wisdom is part of the reason for being. So because this is so different, it forces me to slow down and to interact differently with the cards. Because is there really any RWS influence? Some.
Well, I would say the the division into the suits, basically earth, wind, fire, and water, and that's that. I mean, to me, that's a basic Rider-Waite division.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes.
And then the major arcana, so it does start with 0. I think I have a deck that actually starts with 1, and I don't like it. It's like, no, you're supposed to start at 0. So I think there's that. Right. I think and then the king that even though the court cards, the prince, the page, and the knight are different, they do keep that divine feminine and masculine at the end of the deck with the king and the queen.
Yes. Yes. Well, and some tarot decks, they start with the 1 and they end with the 0. They end with the Fool. So because there's some philosophies
Okay.
of that the world is simply an ending before you start the new beginning. And so
Okay.
the Fool,
That would make sense.
Yeah. The Fool, the 0, is the jump ring between those experiences. So if you do anything with jewelry, you need that jump ring. So
all right. I see.
Yeah.
Did you have other cards that you liked that you wanted to share?
I liked healing. I thought the images of this were very nice. I am a huge fan of the 2 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. It's my favorite card, and I appreciated this one. It's the artwork is very Celtic, but also very fantasy, and dragons are prevalent throughout. And I did like the I think it is the 4 of the 4 of air. I liked that. That's just a nice image there for me. That is an adjustment that one has to get used to, is because the artist has put the symbols on, the alchemical symbols.
Correct.
For the suits.
Yes.
And so for me, because I've actually put them on little tabs so that I can access them through the book.
Oh yes. Okay.
So
wow.
So yeah. So
I love it.
What about you? What are some of yours?
Well, so I wanted to talk about, I love the dragon. So I'm not a big fan, or I'm becoming more of a fan of dragons. Especially, there's this whole concept that dragons evolved into birds. And I'm like, when I see these little birds outside, I'm like, or that dragons, like the Tyrannosaurus Rex is really a dragon, that's why its arms are like that, because they're supposed to be for wings. But to see that sort of dragon imagery in the big birds now, like the emu and the ostrich, and there's some other bird that has a claw that looks just like a raptor's claw. I'm like, okay, I can see this here. But I love the dragons at the beginning, because there's what I perceived as a very ferocious entity is very gentle.
Yes.
Very calming and very inviting. And so I love the use of the dragons. as that beginning invitation.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, my favorite is the dragon. I mean, look at that, just that fire, that light holding the divine feminine there in the spider, but something so gentle holding in their claws
Mm-hmm.
very gently.
Yes.
And I really, there's some very beautiful about these cards. And of course, my favorite being the Ace of Earth,
Ace of Earth.
being that
Yeah.
I'm an Earth sign.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite cards, these two are very similar, and I love them. This is, to me, this image, this 10 of fire, just talking about connecting to your passion. I mean, just look at this, lit up, chakras aligned, passion engaged, just like, wow.
Yes.
Just boom. This is how you live your life, connecting to your passion, just lit. And I really love this card. Just, oh, I love when I get this in a reading. I'm like, yes, light it up. And then
That's right.
almost on the other end of that spectrum, I love this card also, which is the 10 of water. And again, all chakras in alignment, moving in flow. There's dolphins in the back. Again, that connecting to that divine part of yourself and moving in flow. I just really love that. I see Gerald's looking. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting,
Why can
waiting.
I not find that? Is that the 10 or is that the
I don't know. Oh, you get it? You know what? This is probably the 13. This would be the 13. 13 of water.
Okay. I can find
No,
it.
I can't even read. How about 8? 8 of water. I'm just making up whatever numbers I feel like today.
Well, it is your show. You can do that. Yeah. I noticed this as well with the
Is it?
chakras. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the chakras. I really appreciated
I
that.
love the chakras in alignment, the joy and bliss on his face, the dolphins, just his oneness, this image of the flow. I just really love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else do I have? When you think about, then this is the 8 and the major arcana, again, death and rebirth. Just this
Yes.
mixing of skeleton skulls and an egg and all
Mm-hmm.
those things that would seem to be opposites, but that's their, death and life are all the same. Light and dark are all the same. And so to see it presented in this image here.
Yes, you have to have
And so
both to
that's
have
one
a
of my
complete
favorite
life.
cards.
Yeah, you have to have both in order to
Correct.
have a complete
Correct.
life.
Indeed. Indeed. I see we have a special friend of yours, Gerald, here.
Hi, Beth. Good to see you.
Yay! Welcome, Miss Queen Beth. And then I also love this one for the this is the 2 of air. And so again, I guess that very same imaging of dark and light, that I am
Mm-hmm.
the best when even the aspects of myself that I may not be used to or used to bringing into the light, when especially if you think about setting that vision or connecting to my higher self in my mind, I just love this image
I like
of the
it
black
too.
and white together.
I do. I like it together, and I like the representation of it because the whole figure is there. It's not hidden by in the dark. You just have to look for it.
Correct, 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 correct. And so I
So,
really like that. I really, really like that.
and I would also say in the center there, the chakras are lined up, but they're not colored.
Mm, yes, yes. Yeah, so again, you're talking about that whole concept to seek to heal, to grow, to heal, living a life in alignment,
Mm-hmm. Very
very
much.
much about healing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start our readings. We're going to do a reading for the collective. Now, Gerald, are we going to look at the book?
I'm going to start intuitively,
All right.
but then I will make glance at the book. I do want to share I think the extra 3 cards. I think that would be
Light of
helpful.
awareness. Very okay. Let me enter. Just Dolly talking about the 2 of air. The light of awareness coming through on that card.
Oh, yes. Yes. So card 22 is...
All right, yes, the 3 extra cards.
Yes, card 22 is intuition. And so that's a nice card. Do I need to cover up the human body bits?
On this one, I love it. So yeah, maybe just put your hand there, your finger there. There you go. Oh yes, tiny hands.
So this is integrity. And then we have faith. So those are the extra cards. So
very beautiful. Very beautiful. I love the card that you had to cover up the human bits. And what I like about it is that what you covered up is that very powerful representation of that down triangle, and that divine feminine in that image just being like, here I am, just here I am. That powerfulness, that's part of the integrity of stepping into the power of who you are. Oh, and there's a wolf on the faith card. I see that Dolly Wolf Girl saw that.
Gee, really?
Happiness is when what you think and what you say and what you do are in harmony. Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. And I want to thank all of you for being here today. And those of you that watch later, thank you. Please make sure, I'm sure that we all already do, but if you do not, please go over to Gerald's channel. I can't believe that no one I want to say no one I have here that has wrenches, but I know they don't show on here. But I think Dolly. I'm just going to leave it like it is.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, so Gerald and I are going to pull 3 cards for the collective. What is the energy? What is going on? And then if you would like, we will do a reading for you, because I want to keep it to an hour, because I need some of Gerald's time to myself after the show. I already sent him a text like, do you have time after the show?
There you go. So
all right, so we're going to pull 3 cards for the collective. What is...
I actually put all of my deck in complete order, so that I could show, because I'm an overachiever, so I'm shuffling.
Yes.
So just a second.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Dolly.
So what are the 3 positions again?
You tell me. I was looking for a collective, a concept of the, Dolly has talked about on her weekly reading, and it's just something that I really felt that there's really a restlessness in the collective, we'll talk about in the United States, and just wanting to know. We're still at the very beginning, so you know what? So we're getting ready to come into the spring, into the true new year. So let's make one. How do we close out this astrological year? So the first card will be, how do we close out? The energy for closing out this astrological year. The energy for stepping into the astrological year. And then because that astrological year begins in the Aries, how do you then step into your power? So how do we close this energetic year? What is the energy of the next year coming up? And then the third card, how do you step into your power?
Okay.
So I think there's a real restlessness in this country, because part of the rising of the vibration, the change that is happening, that when you're in the midst of change, or you feel something and you got a feeling, I think it makes you restless. You don't know what to do, but I'm just really seeing it as a upgrade.
And anytime we experience change, it's uncomfortable, because what we knew is different than where we are, and so we have to pay very close attention to that transition period, so that we can truly adjust and incorporate that new energy, as you're saying. So, all right, I think one more and then I'm done. Do you have your cards already done?
I do. Because I was shuffling too. But you had yours in order, so that created you had to do some extra.
Yep, but that's okay. So the first card is the what we're leaving behind. Is that right?
What we're leaving behind, or how we're closing out this astrological year,
Okay.
or it could be what you're leaving behind.
Well, we're closing out this astrological year with the 5 of fire, with much aggravation and challenges and a lot of energy exchange. And this is one of those things that in looking at this card, it is we can see there appears to be some battling going on here. There's energy flow between them. And I think it's one of those things that that is how we're closing the year out. There's a lot of heated exchanges, a lot of energy that has gone very intense. So, but what do you think, or what'd you pull?
Very good. I want to welcome Shanita and Sonia. We'll come back to your question. We haven't talked about that, but Shanita, welcome. So, I'm honored. And yes, resting. So make sure you're getting your rest, sister. So, okay, go ahead, Gerald. So now, what is the energy of the?
It is the 4 of fire. It's the intensity and the precision of taking that energy and pointing it. Looking at this image, we absolutely have we have the directness of it and the solidity of being well grounded. When you do a bow and arrow, you need to have your feet solidly on the ground so you can extend completely, and you can get to where to focus on what it is that you want. And so this is the card of a good foundation for that energy exchange. So, and then my last card.
No, so listen, so Beth is asking, do you also think that the 4 of fire stabilizes us? That is, she's asking, do you think that stabilizes? And I also like it because there's that drawback. So before you step forward, pull back and look at that bigger image. When you're looking forward, make sure that you're not so, pull back to go forward to.
Yes, I would say it does stabilize us, Beth. Especially, I like how we've gone from this heated energy exchange that is not grounded to an energy exchange that is stable, as you said. Yes. So, and then my final card, that's the what did you call it for the final card?
So the energy as we step into that Aries energy, so that power, moving forward in power in the new year.
And I have the 3 of air, and the 3 of air here, especially in the image, there is a need to find information and to find the facts, to see the things that we thought were true. Are they still true? And if they are not, how have they changed? What can we do with that? This is the card of this is very much, and I like how the dragon is looking over this person's shoulder, looking into the book of knowledge. And I think it's also very important. Oh, and look at all the symbols around. We have all of the symbols around.
Yes.
So it for me feels very much like there is we have to draw from many resources to help inform us and our decisions. So, and one is not better than the other. They are simply different. And it's our enlightenment, it's our brain, it's our thought process that allows us to integrate those and to put them together.
Mm, mm,
So,
mm. Very good. Very good.
so what'd you get?
So my first card is let me make sure, the Four of Water. And it's hard to see, but I think there's some, what I love about this card is that this person is looking at themselves in the mirror, even though they have this huge scar that they may have been battered and changed, but they're still going to go forward in their flow, that they're going to see the beauty in the challenge. So I think, and even that open eye, that open divine eye, I think that is, that challenge. We're in the world, but not of it. So that in this world, you may be battered and broken, and that could make you get entrenched in how you do things and in what you believe. But you can still, in the midst of that, open that divine eye and say, how do I see this situation? How do I move forward? How do I continue in the flow of where I'm going? So I think that's the way to close out this year. That as you take a look at this
Mhm.
astrological year, and I like it because it's the water card and we're finishing up in Pisces. How do I stay and step into that flow, even though I may feel battered and bruised at this time of year and with an election coming up?
Yes.
And then my next card is the 11 of Earth. And I love it because there's like a wolf or dolly here, and a horse, and a goat, and a bear, and an owl, and some money, and like a proclamation and multiplication. And, even right here, it's hard to see, but it's a little green dragon.
Oh, nice.
And so I think for me, this energy of the new years, again, you know, one of the things is that, which is my big deal, is that we used to say in the church, if you're so heavenly bound, what good are you here on the earth? And so you're so into, your tarot cards, and you're so into your crystals, and you're so into that stuff, but you're not living. We need that light here on the earth. We need your power here on this earth, not to be in denial. Say, well, I send love and light. Okay, we don't need your love and light. I need you out here in the streets. I need you voting. I need you sending email, that whole thing. And so it's about, how do I integrate my spirituality so that I am a transformative and powerful force here on this planet? And yeah, so I'm gonna, you see, Beth's already given away my next card without even knowing it, because my last card is the dragon, or the Ace of Earth, the wood dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And really, this new year for me, being open to the new and allowing new things to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Or even see at co-conspirators. Dolly knows about my sermon, that what I said, I don't want you to be my ally sitting in the safety of your house. I need you to be a co-conspirator and an accomplice out in these streets. And
I
so, but
I want
again, things grow.
I I I want
Even
your I want your light and love in action, not just in your thoughts and your prayers. I want your light and love
correct.
out in the streets. I want to see it. I need that action. I need anything that is going on grounded so that others can see it and they can feel it and they can experience it, and then they understand it. This idea of, oh, light and love, it's like, no, people. I mean, no, get out and do
Oh yes,
something.
the fan. Now
Yes,
my life has been complete. Tiny hands in the fan. I'm good. I am
there you go.
good.
So be a co-conspirator with that light and love, and you don't have to announce that that's what you're doing. Just do
Correct.
it.
Correct.
Okay, I'll get off
Correct.
my
And I like it
soapbox.
that my last two cards, No, stay on your soapbox. The last two cards, just that you said, are pentacles or earth. So it's about coming from a place of groundedness. So oftentimes us is good trouble. That was my message title when I was in that very co-conspirator. It comes from my message. It was good trouble in Samaria, using the words of oh, look, Scorpio Mama KD, but using, that oftentimes those of us as light workers, we're so up here in this crown chakra that we can be, but we've got to become earth. The earth, we didn't come on this, in my opinion, and don't let me get to preaching, but I guess I already am. We didn't come onto this planet to just be playing around with tarot cards and crystals. They'll, for what? Because it's trying to usher in a light, usher in a change. This planet needs us more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, very good, very good.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, yeah, I know, Shanita, I'm on here preaching. So, so Gerald, we had a question from, like, why do people use different tarot decks, right? So, why do people use different tarot decks? Here was the
I,
question. Not sure if you've answered this. Why do readers use different tarot cards? Are they used for answering different questions or themes?
I the
Why
short
do you
answer
use
to
different
that,
cards?
I use different decks because I have some decks that feel like a certain energy. If somebody were asking about romance, I have decks that lean comfortably into the romance and speak clearly to me about romantic endeavors. I have cards that are very good for politics. I have cards that they so yes, I use cards um, appropriately because you want the right tool for the right or for the job. And sometimes and
Correct.
I interview all of my tarot decks to find out how the deck and
All
I will
right.
work together. So there are some decks that they're going to be a no holds barred. They're going to come out punching, hitting you upside the head, getting your attention. And other decks, I mean, and so if someone is in the form of grief, I don't want that sort of a deck for the most part. I want a deck that is going to be a comforting friend who is going to support you and meet you where you are. So Sonia, that's a great question. And and it's like, when I do personal readings for people, invariably I'm using 3 or 4 decks because I like to see the decks layered to see what relationship there is between the different aspects and the different questions. So, but yeah.
Very true. And I also, so I have had times where I'm going to do a reading for someone and their guides are all up in my business an hour or two before, and I'm like, hold up. So I know that the guides are getting ready to come with a very hard transformative message. I will use a deck that has like animals and rainbows and flowers. So because the four of wands or the death card is the death card is the death card. But if it's like happy looking death or smiley fairy death versus how it can look in some decks, skeleton s, so using that same sort of engine. Welcome to Jane the Seeker. Well, she's thinks she's still in Cali.
Yep.
And so very good. So yes, the decks, you're right, have their own personality. And then sometimes
Yes.
they fit, if I know someone is all into crystals and rainbows and stuff, then why not use a deck that has images that they're familiar with?
Yes. And
And so that's what
especially
I'll
for
do. That's what
yeah.
I'll do.
For me, the decks are a tool to share information. And so I have to connect with the deck in that energy so that I can deliver the clearest message for the person who is asking in a manner they can hear the
Correct.
message. So,
Indeed. I love it. Katie Moonchild says that in the Star Trail, the death card is a phoenix. And what I love about Light Seers Tarot is that the death card, you see, it's got the Grim Reaper's Reaper thing, but the vision is a beautiful blue sky that, you know, while you may be walking through this darkness, you're headed towards blue sky, you're headed towards the sun, you're headed towards something new. So there's still a very beautiful image in there. Or on that deck, also the Tower card. So there's like lightning and stuff, but then there's butterflies, again, giving that very same image.
Yes. And Sonia also had another question about when I first get a deck. Do I bless it? Do I pray over it? Do I do things? Yes, I do all of those things. Mostly because of energetically, and before I do anything online, I have a ritual for me to help me get into a safe and sacred space. I have my prayers that I do. I burn incense. I wear jewelry. And so that I am in that space. And I do that with tarot cards as well. I bless them with sage and incense. I've prayed over them. I've connected with them. I've done interviews with them. So and Jane the Seeker says I sleep with my decks. So
You know, or even like how that it becomes an extension of ourselves. So Gerald is wearing tiger eye. So this psychic protection is drawing into your psychic energy, where I'm wearing oh my God, I forgot Rombla, but it's unconditional love. So I want to be grounded in that when I'm reading. So there's a whole, you know, there's a whole bunch, you know, I'm grounded wearing my black root chakra with my jasper here. I'm shining with my opalite and my, you know, so yeah, there's a whole thing about it.
Yeah. And Sonia said, Gerald, what you said about the energy they give out to you is so true. I've walked into a store and have had not had a good feeling about them. I am the same way. I'm very open and I'm very sensitive. I have my good boundaries. And so, you know, I've purchased some tarot decks and some crystals because this may sound funny, but I'm going to say it. But they have said, get me out of here. Save me. Take me away from here. And
Wow.
It's like, okay.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, I have a pendulum that I bought and I get it into the car. And I have a whole bunch of pendulums, and I'm in the car, and it's a black obsidian pendulum. And it says, you and I are going to work together. And we're going to clear houses. I was just like, are you talking out loud to me? And I thought, okay.
Yes.
You know, okay,
Yes.
indeed.
Yeah.
Well, I want to honor the time. We spent so much time talking about the cards, but I want to give everyone a chance who wants to get a reading. So can we agree that Gerald and I will do a one card pull? He'll pull a card and I'll pull a card for what your question is. Because I mean, first of all, Gerald, thank you so much. You
You're
know,
welcome.
I will say honestly that I met Gerald as a part of the Tarot Love community, but there became a place in that community where I didn't feel welcomed and I didn't feel honored. And so I pulled back, and that was my own choice. But I've always lurked with Gerald. And then for me, when I reached out to you, you were like, yes, no, like, well, where you been, bitch? Or, you know, what you trying to do? Right? You were like, what's the date? And of course, I wanted to do it on the 29th of February. So,
Yes.
Gerald, I really appreciate that. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I appreciate you too. And everybody has their own journey, and I am too busy celebrating you, embracing your journey completely. That's the good thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Beth says she went to a crystal store with the worst vibes, a B for a salesperson, a headbanger. Oh my Lord, what? And then all the crystals were upset and sad. Dag, what in the hecky heck? What in the heck? Well, Fatima, welcome. So yes, I have also gone into a store where I didn't like, I'm like, this is not a light. Like there's a store here called the Mine Shaft, and all it does is it sells crystals. There is no, thank you, Beth. There's no spiritual foundation. So I'm good with that. then I go in there with that expectation because I'm going to bring my crystals home and sage them and do all those things anyway. Oh, I don't know who Phone Boy is, but welcome. Yes, yes, okay, okay. Yes, we're gonna Gerald, how do we do this so we can see everyone, or can we just say if you're in the chat and you want a reading, just say yes, and we're gonna do a one card pull.
Fun Boy has put in, can I get a general reading about my health?
All right. So that's it.
And
We're gonna do one card pull. Everyone else, if you have a question, go ahead and drop it, and we're gonna do a one card pull for entertainment purposes only.
There you go.
So Sonia, you're saying yes. Does that mean you want to get a reading? You'll be next after Fun Boy. So Sonia, do you have something you want us to read on? All right. So Fun Boy, one question pull, one card pull about your health. You ready, Gerald?
I am. I have the 11 of Earth. And the 11 of Earth,
No,
it
that was
says
just my card.
heaven and earth. Fun Boy, what this says to me is it is an important time for you to be paying attention to what you are putting into your body. You need to balance. You need to make sure that you are not going to extremes. Don't have all of the sugar one day and not eating tomorrow. Don't do that. This is heaven and earth. There has to be a balance. So it feels very much like, because there are many aspects. Oh, and okay, for entertainment purposes only, eat from all of the food groups in the appropriate amounts, and regularly see your caregivers, see the professionals, because they're there to help you. So that's what I have for you.
Indeed. And the card I get is intuition, but what is really reaching out to me is look at all the animals in here. There's a cat, an owl she's holding, there's a spider. So this is, and then all the symbols around here. So what this is telling me that the information you're looking for, it's all around you. And listen to what your gut is saying. So if it's saying, eat this, don't eat this, go see this person, do less of this, listen to that. Listen to your gut and your intuition. It is guiding you. I get the feeling that some of your family members may not have the best health. And sometimes when you do something different, they're like, well, what you doing? Do follow your guide, follow your inner guide on your health. Indeed. All right. I think I saw that. Um, Scorpio Mama was looking for general information.
And we had
Oh,
Sonia.
Katie, thank you. Yes, please hit like. Make sure. Oh, Sonia, what was Sonia's question?
Sonia asked later on, says, what's the now that I have to concentrate on, the light that has been mentioned?
All right, all right. And can someone please drop Gerald's links? So if you don't already, what the hell? Please subscribe to his channel. And if you don't already, what the hell? Follow me so you can catch me in the mornings. Mindful Mornings with Minnassa.
Yes, yes.
All right, is the light. Ooh, all right. You ready, Gerald?
So Sonia, what I have for you is the 5 of Earth. And the 5 of Earth is talking about, you were asking what's the now that I need to concentrate on, the light that has been mentioned. This is very much feels like you have to, I would encourage you to slow down and to check what you are feeling and what you are observing to find out what part of it is true for you. Instead of saying, well, I have to do it this way because that's the way they've always told me to do it. That's not the case. You need to understand it. I would encourage you to look for opportunities to find your own path and to understand what it means for you. So a lot of times the 5 of Pentacles is or the 5 of Earth is the card of feeling outside and like you don't belong. You do. And you need to find, you need to figure out how you do belong and what does that light look like for you? Because it's there, it's around you.
Indeed, and I love Indeed. And look at the card that I got. This is the card of the crone, and she's already lit. So the part of what I'm getting is your light's already there. Don't discount it because it doesn't look like how Gerald and I do things or how other people, but your light's already there and it's lit, girl. Move with it. That crone energy, step into your power. That if you say, well, I just feel like this, but it's so different. If that's your power, and you're using that ancient intuitive wisdom, move for it. Do it. You're already lit. Your power's there. Step into it joyfully.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
Yes, yes,
All
yes.
right. So now, Scorpio,
Scorpio
Mama.
Mama. Yeah.
And thank you, Dolly, for dropping in Gerald's.
Thank you. Okay. Scorpio Mama for general.
Mm-hmm. If you got it, go.
I've got the 8 of Earth for you, Scorpio Mama.
Mm-hmm.
The 8 of Earth is, in particular, I like this image because look at how much fertility there is going on and how much growth there is going on. So I think you've got a lot of growth and a lot of things that that are emanating from you. What I notice also is she is holding on to that staff firmly, and that staff is radiating out. I think, and I also like how in her other hand she's got this sphere, this globe. It feels very much like, for you, a general reading would be to enjoy your environment, get out there and feel the trees, feel the grass. And I think it's also one of those things to where know in yourself where you are grounded and the earthiness that is about you. So that's what I have for you.
So very similar, but in a different vein. I have the, let me get this right, the 4 of water. So of course, as a Scorpio, this is your get into the flow, because the Scorpio, sometimes you guys can be very closed off, and that card is telling you to step out. That yes, this, again, look in the mirror at yourself, and instead of seeing what's not working and where you got scars and what happened, to look and see the beauty of all that is flowing around you, of all the life that you are bringing, and use that powerful Scorpio intuition to move in the world, knowing that you are safe and it's time for you to get out there. Now, so I see that Shanita has one. I just want to make sure. All right. And then I'm going to say, last call. So if anyone else wants a reading, let us know. We're over time, and I want to honor Gerald's time and honor the time that I told everyone this would be on for an hour. So I love Shanita's question. What kind of happiness is coming my way? Yes, girl, yes.
You're welcome, Scorpio Mama.
You're welcome.
I got the 11 of water, emotional and intellectual. And the 11 is in the position of the page. So it's your, what kind of happiness is coming your way? I would say there's going to be a balance of the way you are feeling. You're going to be experiencing some new feelings, having the new feels. And I encourage you to enjoy that and to incorporate it into, and the word embrace the happiness that is coming your way, even though it may be hard to see it initially. Embrace the experiences, because it's those experiences that make us who we are, that give us an opportunity to be our ultimate best. So, and that's a beautiful image. So, and there's a dragon underneath. It's a water
Indeed.
dragon.
Indeed. Yes. Yes. I'm loving that. And so my card is the Six of Earth. And so what I like about it, if you take a look at this image, there's like something kind of woody, that the yoke that this person has carried is no longer weighing them down. It's no longer weighing them down. And so the happiness is coming to you. You look in their hand, they got a cup of fruit, it's overflowing, there's new life there. And then what I like though is that they're holding a sickle, no, what is it called? A scythe in their
Mhm.
hand. And this is the invitation for you to take time to harvest, that you've been planting many seeds and you've let things blossom. And now is the time to harvest those things. The things that you have wanted, the things that you have created, now bring them in. See them, harvest them, and bring them in. This is the time. Your burden, your yoke has lightened. And now is the time for your abundance, but it's there. Make room. You know, Lily and I, Dolly talked about it. We've just been cleaning like crazy people, making room for the abundance that
Yep.
wants to come to us.
Yep. Oh, and Shanita, I also missed this before, but above is an eye, the all-seeing
Mhm.
eye. So I would suggest, I don't know if you are a religious individual, but it does look like you're getting some guidance in order for what's coming next. So,
The other thing is
and
she is a very powerful healer. She does sound healing. But I think
oh,
part of what
nice.
your card is also letting her know is that, I mean, she's just powerful in that her
Yep.
psychic gifts are ready to come in a new way.
Yep.
Ready to come in a new way.
Love that.
Well, we're finishing at 111. I don't see any more people asking for readings. If we missed you, let me know. Otherwise, we are going to end this show. Started late because I had bad Wi-Fi, so I had to move into a different room here in the house. And I appreciate Gerald's patience to that. I thank you all for being here. I highly encourage you um, to get this beautiful deck, the Dreams of Gaia. Oh yeah, there we go. Minnassa Wellness and Tarot. Dolly, we're getting ready to close out. Did you want a reading? She's just saying awesome. So I'm going to close this out. Gerald, what do you have coming up?
I have a show later today. I'm a guest on Deanne Shield Maiden. On Sunday, I am doing light language with JJ and Karen. And then I have a whole series of shows next week. Just like and subscribe because then you'll be notified of when I'm going live.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's been here. Make sure you subscribe to Gerald. Make sure you come and hang out with me in the morning and have a beautiful day and happy leap day.
Yes. Thanks.